Okay, so we got the new banner information for Yoimiya and Sayu, and we're also going over the new weapon banner, talking about that very briefly as well. So let's go ahead and over, should you summon or should you skip for this one? I know the Yoimiya banner has been a very controversial banner for a lot of people, and Twitch chat wants to tell you something, and I believe it too. Summon for who you like. If you don't like, if you want to summon for Ayaka, summon for Ayaka. If you want to summon for Yoimiya because she's cute, summon for Yoimiya. Summon for Lily Pichu, then summon for Lily Pichu, dude. Have a good time. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. But what this video is going to go over is like helping people that are struggling through Abyss, people trying to help out. So just know that this video is really built to help those people out, and not so much to help out the people that are already like fucking 36ing Abyss and going full mad lad on things. And I do, of course, help you guys out as much as I can. Let's jump into it. Alrighty, guys. And the banner is gonna be the biggest skip of your fucking life. Oh my god. We got Yoimiya, Xinyan, Diona, and Sayu. Wow. As the easiest skip I've ever seen in my life for free to play. Okay, so let's go talk about why this is a big old skip for free to play. You could potentially summon for Sayu, but she'll come back around. All right. Okay, so the first character we're going to talk about for the Yoimiya banner tonight is going to be Sayu. So Sayu was going to be released. It's going to be an Animo 4-star character with a Claymore, of course. All her information dropped last night, and she looks like a badass, as you can see. But what I want to note about Sayu is that she is two big things. First thing about Sayu that it's going to be here is she is an Animo character and supposedly a healer. She has an elemental skill that allows her to do a switch kick, or if you hold it, you can do a roly-poly like that animation. So it's really cool, and I very much enjoy the animations for this character so far. The ultimate ability is supposedly this little totem thing. Now, unfortunately, she has a thresholded heal, and this thresholded heal is kind of similar to how Bennett's heal is thresholded here. So the amount of healing is restored based on Sayu's attack. Now, the rumor mill says that the Sayu may scale even further with other stats that could, you know, based on this one thing that pops on the screen right here. Potentially. We don't know though, but only with constellations. Now, with Sayu, she also has a constellation, but maybe a constellation dependent character regarding the heal, because it looks like that there is it's a thresholded base heal right here. If there's no active characters that are 70% or less HP narrow, it's going to heal the active character with the lowest percent. But if you're not below that 70%, potentially it doesn't heal. And going forward, you may get the heal. Potentially. I don't know. Could be through constellations. We don't know yet. Or do we? So as far as characters go, Sayu looks like a very, very helpful character for free-to-play players, getting you that extra healer. Because the only options that we have on anybody's kit are going to be... The only options that you could have potentially on anyone's kit for healers, I would say, are going to be Jean, which many free-to-play players may not have. And then we got Chi-Chi on the side there. Barbara has been like a staple character for a lot of people for healing, but seeing how the biggest healer in the game is going to be Benny Boy, the big thing for this one is that what I like doing a lot on Jean, if you don't have Jean, Sayu could be a really cool character to boost damage, because you can actually run a 4-piece Viridescent Venerer set on Sayu and use your elemental skill to shred, which would then boost your damage. So you can get kind of a healer style with a little bit of damage boost, kind of like the way you do with Jean. So you can, of course, do that in order to, you know, boost the overall damage, and it will help for team rotations. The problem with, of course, Chi-Chi and Barbara is that neither one of them actually do that, so that's a huge problem for their kits. And they're not, of course, Zhongli, which is going to be the big shield character in general, so you can't really use those for that. So the reason this is a big skip for free to play is Xinyan as a character is one of the worst characters in Genshin Impact. I think she's cool, but every person that plays her knows she's really freaking poor in comparison to a lot of others. Now, she's a physical based support where the physical meta is only just Eula and potentially Razor, depending on how you look at it. And she's really, 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 really bad before C2. And then once you get C2, she gets a little bit better because of the crit rate increase. And of course, you get a shield on top of that for the defense shred. the physical shred, and then C4 helps her a little bit more, and then C6 is the allow for main DPS Jin Yang. So, but between C2 and C4, if you do get to that point, she's okay, and she does some work. But unfortunately, if you are a whale, there's better options a lot of the time. And if you're free to play and you're trying to use this for your Eula, it's really not that helpful. To be honest with you, it's not that great. It's really kind of asterisk as far as the characters go. And to be honest, I like Jin Yang at C2 for the nuke, for like the big 100, 200k ultis. That's kind of fun. But pretty much every single account that I've played with Jin Yang, even the triple crown Jin Yang account that I played, they did way better without using Jin Yang. All right. However, though, Diona is an exceptional character. Diona is a great character in general, not a constellation-dependent character at all. You can use her at C0, and she's great. You actually get some boosts at C2 and C1 for energy recharge, shield bonuses, etc. So pick up for Diona for C2, and C1 and C2 are pretty nice. And then C6, of course, is phenomenal for damage increases. So if you're looking to get those last constellations on Diona, if you're a whale, sure, that's great. But, I mean, she's going to be on another banner. You can get her all the time. I don't know if I would do this particular banner. Now, for Sayu, we don't know what her constellations are without, dropping some other information, but she's kind of out of that. Now, my feelings on Yoimiya is I really like Yoimiya, and I very much think that she's a great character. However, as far as characters go in Genshin Impact for free-to-play players and budget players, this might not be the way to go. I've said so in other videos. Yoimiya, I'm not going to shit on in this video. If you like Yoimiya, summon for Yoimiya. If you don't like Yoimiya, don't summon for Yoimiya. It's really simple. There's nothing else to it. Summon for who you like. But if you're struggling in Abyss and you hate the current Abyss and you really want to do better, this might not be the character that helps you push through that. It might not be. Just a heads up. No shade, just letting you know. The main reason that most people are skipping this character is for the next Archon character that's coming out in Genshin Impact, which is going to be Ball. So I did an entire video about this. Go check it out. Link to that description below. Now let's go to the weapon banner, which is going to be the Thundering Pulse and the Skyward Blade. Oh, but man, they are mean with the other weapons on this. So the 4-star weapons on this banner are fire, but the 5-star weapons, though, that Skyward Blade is, but the 4-star weapons. So my recommendation on this weapon banner is if you're looking to build your pity, we got Dragon's Bane, Sacrificial Fragments, and Favonius Warbow. Favonius Warbow, best in slot weapon for Diona, unless you have very, very poor crit rate, then of course it's going to be Sacrificial. The Sacrificial Sword, one of the best weapons to pick up in the entire game for Genshin Impact. It's another weapon banner that's going to have this on, so I'm going to start saving weapons summons on my free-to-play account to build pity on this. And if I end up getting an early 5-star, oh well, I get a Skyward Blade or a Thundering Pulse, and then I might summon for Yoimiya. I mean, whatever. Like, I don't know if I do it on my free-to-play account. Dragon's Bane, exceptional for Rosaria, Hu Tao, and Zhangling for reverse Velt and reverse vaporized compositions. So very, very, very strong weapon in general. I definitely recommend picking up refines of this weapon over time, because it gets even better with refines by a significant margin. So it's definitely worth going for at some point in the game. And then the Sacrificial Fragments is the best in slot weapon for Sucrose. If you don't have it yet, it's a very, very good weapon for her. I find it to be the best possible weapon for her in general, just for helping for energy recharge for your teams, for battery, and of course getting those swirls up whenever you need to. Rain Slasher, of course, is the Pain Slasher. But what's really surprising is that in this current Abyss, for Diluc, it's actually really good. If you think about the first floor in Abyss right now, the first floor for Diluc, Raid Slasher is not too bad. Because on the first floor, if you're using your Shinku or your Shincho, or whatever you want to call them, with your Diluc, the enemy is either going to have Hydra applied to them with that, or have the Electro buff on them. And Rain Slasher then has an EM main set that's going to react on that all the time. So this Abyss in particular, it's actually not too bad. Most of the time, though, this weapon's kind of garbage. It could be good for Beidou at times, so it's okay, but like otherwise, no. But if you're looking to build pity, this is a great weapon banner to build pity on. And if you end up getting a 5-star early, I mean, that's always good. But this is a definite skip banner in general, but a good, build pity banner. Now the next weapon banner might be better, we don't know. But the sacrificial sword is such a hard weapon to pass up on, and it does come back around like every 3 or 4 weapon banners, but it's such a good weapon, so I'm really hoping that, you know, you go for it. Now, the Thundering Pulse Bow, going over this right here, the Thundering Pulse Bow is a really interesting weapon. It's only going to be good for Yoimiya, from what I can tell, or potentially Aloy. I don't really think if there's any other characters that's going to be good for it, because it's an attack percentage substat weapon. And on the passive of this weapon, it's going to increase normal attack only and not charge attack. So it's not going to be good for Ganyu. So if you're a Ganyu main, this is going to be a very terrible weapon for her. And I only think that's going to be good for Yoimiya, Aloy. Oh yeah, child. Sorry, a child. Child will be also really good with this weapon. I don't really see any problems with this weapon for him, but the Skyward Harp is always already a good weapon, and I'm not going to see, like, you're probably not going to see like massive damage games in this weapon in general between this weapon and the Skyward Harp. So I'd say between those 2 weapons, if you have one of those already, it's probably going to be fine. I will have to go test that, of course, and see if it's going to be better, but between the 2 weapons, I really don't see this to be like the best fucking weapon ever. Normal attack damage is great, but like for bow users, it's kind of asterisk unless it's child, you know. And it might be good for child, but you have to, of course, you have to use the ultimate right away. So potentially, like, you could use that with the child to get the big damage. But I'm not sure this is going to be the best in slot for him. I'll have to do some testing. I think this weapon banner in general and the character banner in general are big old skips for most players, unless you're trying to like build some pity for the next characters coming out. And on the weapon banner, but on the character banner, I think this one's a big old skip. I'm pretty sure this one's a big old skip for a lot of people. But if you want to summon for Yoimiya or Sayu because you like Lily Pichu, whatever, don't let anybody stop you. Have a good time. All right, well, that's gonna do it for this video. My name's Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, of course, like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.